Today, I want to talk about string theory. What is string theory? String theory is scientists' theory based on mathematical calculations. Scientists have discovered a theory which they say is mathematically so beautiful that it is real. It is very real. The problem with string theory, which they have, is that they have no scientific proof of its existence. Science relies on proof of everything. And some things in nature, scientists have no proof about. Does that mean it does not exist? Does that mean scientists are actually wrong? The string theory, scientists say, makes three essential predictions about our nature. They say nature is made up of tiny, small strings. These tiny strings are so small that nobody can see them. Nobody can see them. The second prediction about the string theory is that there are 6 small inner dimensions which are curled up and hidden. Again, like the strings, they're so small that nobody can see them. The third prediction which string theory makes is that nature is made up of supersymmetric particles. Nature is made up of larger supersymmetric particles. Again, they have no evidence of it. They have no practical proof of it. Herein lies the scientist's dilemma. I mean, let's give scientists credit. 50 years of dedication to a cause of strings and string theory takes some doing. How many people will pursue? There's a variety of scientists all over the world who have tried to discover the innermost secrets about our nature. Professor Michael Green at Cambridge University in England, and Professor Susskind also has tried his hardest. And there are many others like Einstein as well, or particularly Hawking as well. And then Brain Green in New York, Columbia University. Brain Green does state he is the organizer of the Science Festival in New York. And he's convinced they exist. So, what can scientists do? Scientists say, until they find practical proof of its existence, it's merely a philosophy. These are the words of twice Nobel Prize winner Steven Weinberg of Texas University. It's merely a philosophy. So they are completely stuck. Let me say, I'm coming to their rescue. I'm coming to their rescue. I have found proof of tiny strings which exist in nature. They are absolutely real. I have seen them live. I can also assert that I've seen the 6 smaller curled up dimensions. They do exist. They are very real indeed. And I can also aver that supersymmetric larger particles do exist. Think about the tragedy of this. They hard work, but they haven't got the scientific proof. My hard work was of a different kind. I started from a different perspective in life. I did not follow the scientist track. They've done phenomenal and beautiful research in nuclear science. And there are thousands and thousands of dedicated scientists involved in making many beautiful discoveries, which have enormous importance and significance and help us in our daily lives. So they do deserve true credit. Some of these people are very, very intelligent indeed. So they're not fools that they've been pursuing a subject which they passionately believe in. Well, I believe in that subject as well, except my approach was simple and different. I didn't do what everybody else did, which is go in one direction. You can imagine they all went into the left direction to find the proof with their experiments, with their devices, with their computers, with their microscopes, variety of them, electron microscopes, to try and see the inner dimensions or anything which could shed light into what they believe is real. I went into the opposite direction. I'm the only one on earth who went into the opposite direction, away from the scientist approach. I went in search of creator first. I went in search of creator first. I thought if I can find that creator, then I can ask creator to reveal the mind of creator, mind of God. Many eminent scientists like Einstein and Hawking wanted to know the mind of God, but they never succeeded. Admittedly, now I'm in my over 28 years of work and research. I did find creator despite monumental problems, monumental difficulties. After 14 years of search, starting from London, I found the creator after 14 years of search. And then after 14 years, in my 18th year, I wrote my first book. And then after 18th year, I continued to discover in the finest mysteries of our universe. There are many beautiful discoveries I made. And the origin of the strings is so beautiful that first you'll have to understand my most important discovery I made, which is I've discovered the scientific structure of consciousness. What is consciousness made up of? To remember, modern science doesn't have an answer to this. They discovered secrets about human brain mapping, and they mapped the brain beautifully at some considerable cost. But they don't know what consciousness is yet. Like many also in science says, what they can't see means it doesn't exist. Well, that's wrong. Scientists can't see strings of nature, but they exist. I have found them. They exist, they're real. They're not somebody's imagination. So the first discovery, which is a profound influence and impact, is the discovery of human consciousness. You need to understand that. What is the structure of that human consciousness from which everything is made? Allied with my discovery of human consciousness is my scientific discovery of quantum code. I made the second discovery of quantum code, and it's from this quantum code I have seen how strings are made. I have seen live strings existence. The design is simply beautiful. So for scientists to understand my research, my scientific discoveries, which completely validates scientists' string theory as being absolutely real is to understand the beauty about the design of human consciousness, which Creator has made as the epicenter of our universe. Everything in the universe is made from consciousness, and everything in universe is made from quantum code. All three predictions of scientists are made from quantum code. So if you understand that, if I can explain to you in depth at some later stage, if you do meet in a live meeting or a conference, then you will appreciate it. Do come back to me if you want some more explanation. I've written my second masterpiece book, Mystery of Origin of Life, which is a completely scientific work of books, which deals with all my inquiries, in which I've explained the beauty about the strings and how they look and how to see them. Everything which I'm saying about my discoveries can be seen by scientists. The trouble is they're looking externally for their answers. And I did the opposite, remember? I went internally, completely internally, and I got all the answers. And I went all the way to the before scientists' Big Bang to discover what had transpired before Big Bang. To remember, science does say they don't know what had happened. There is a wall just before, or I should say just after the Big Bang, which they can't pierce through, the Planck wall, despite their European satellites from Planck, or Planck satellites. They can't see through that wall, which is so small. They haven't pierced through that. I have, through my scientific discovery of consciousness, and I went before Big Bang, what had happened before Big Bang, and how strings were made. I can say one thing for certain, that the Creator, who is the infinity, is the observer who is observing everything in nature. Creator is the observer who is observing everything in nature. Creator knows about your dedication and hard graft. So to remember that everything you do and I do and everybody does is being observed from sub-quantum level. I've seen everything, all the subatomic particles which are made in nature. In fact, I can say nature is beautifully designed. It's simply beautiful. There's more knowledge to add on this, but that will come at a later date. Thank you very much. Do come back to me if you have any questions. My name is Dr. Mukesh C. Chauhan. You can contact me by email at oneoriginalgod@gmail.com or oneasp.mcc@gmail.com. oneasp.1mcc@gmail.com. So thank you for listening. I wish you well. God bless.